Welcome back, everyone. This is GTA Failure. In our last video, we did all 7 of the robberies here on the Western Island. There are 4 off-road missions in total, and passing all 4 of them is required for 100%. In a future video, we'll tackle the 2 off-road missions on the Eastern Island, Cone Crazy and PCJ Playground. This video is all about the 2 off-road missions on the Western Island, Trial by Dirt and Test Track. Both missions require us to complete 2 laps of a dirt track in a specific vehicle. There's no time limit, but if you want to pass the mission multiple times, then you need to beat your previous best time. Here's the dirt track, and that Sanchez and Rancher off in the distance are the 2 specific vehicles that we'll use, just saving the game to get it to be a nice bright morning time, although I ended up with a lot of rain in my recording here. We'll begin with the Rancher. This mission is called Test Track. You fail immediately if you get out. So there you go. We hit 1 checkpoint, I get out, and mission fail. You failed to set a new record. Indeed, I did. As you saw, the Rancher is annoyingly easy to roll. The mission can be restarted with the same Rancher, or in fact, any Rancher. There's nothing specific about the Rancher or the Sanchez here. As long as you start in the right vehicle, then you can begin it in any Rancher or Sanchez. So here I am demonstrating that if you roll your Rancher, then you're going to fail, either because you stay in the Rancher and it explodes and you die, or you get out of the Rancher because you don't want to die in the explosion, and then the mission fails because you got out of the Rancher. The Sanchez triggers the mission Trial by Dirt. It's exactly the same track with checkpoints in exactly the same locations, but in the reverse order from the Rancher mission. You don't fail Trial by Dirt immediately for getting off the Sanchez, but there is a 15-second time limit, and if you don't get back on a Sanchez within that time, then you fail. You failed to set a new record. So here I drove away a few hundred yards and came back, and that green Sanchez right there is the official one, but I was just using the yellow one from before. And so, like I said, you can start these 2 missions from any Sanchez or Rancher as long as you get into the vehicle at the right spot. And you can even blow up your Sanchez and get onto a different Sanchez and finish the mission on a different Sanchez. There's, like I said, nothing specific about the Sanchez or the Rancher here. So I just reloaded my save state, and now I'm going to go through the fast-forwarded version of this first of 2 laps here in the Sanchez. And then once I get to the end of this first lap, I think I'll just skip ahead to the end of the second lap. But there's the end, almost the end of the first lap here. There we go. That's the last one for the first lap, and then we just repeat and do exactly the same checkpoints a second time. And now we've skipped ahead, and I'll show you that we're 15% complete at the moment, and I'm about to finish this mission, and we're going to go up to 16% complete. So just a couple of checkpoints left to hit. There we go. Mission pass. So you get $100 and you get the percentage. 2 minutes, 14 seconds. That's my best time there. And again, we were at 15%, and now we're going to see that we are up at 16%. Right there. However, there's a bug associated with this particular mission in that the time doesn't show up. It's supposed to show up as a new entry between that dirt ring time and the hot ring time, and it just doesn't show. And it's a known bug, and it always happens the first time if you pass Trial by Dirt before you pass Test Track. Here, I intended to get in the Rancher, but accidentally got onto the Sanchez, and I was surprised that the Rancher mission is going to start immediately when the Sanchez one fails. Yeah, I thought I'd have to get out and back in, but turns out you can just be in, and then as soon as you're eligible to go on the Rancher mission here, Test Track, then it just starts right up. Okay, same deal as before. I'll show you the fast-forwarded, quadruple-speeded version of 1 loop of this thing, and then I'll skip the second loop all the way up until the very end. All right, so that's the end of the first lap. And then here we are ending the second lap with an amazing time of 2 minutes, 41 seconds. Again, $100, and again, a percentage added to our in-game completion tracker. And here we will see our time of 2:41 listed correctly. So the bug that exists for the Sanchez, it doesn't exist here for the Rancher. Okay, so in order to show you everything that there is to see, I need to pass 2 more times. Take a look at these red barrels, which were not here before. So once you pass either of these missions the first time, the red barrels show up in this straightaway, and they're still there at the end of the or during the second lap. If you knock them around, then they're in the knocked around position. Okay, I didn't beat my time of 241, so I got a fail, and that does not count as a another win. I was hoping to shoot the barrels, see if they were explosive, but they disappear as soon as you get out of your vehicle. So I can't shoot them, unfortunately. Okay, so here I've just beat my time of 241. The money used to be $100, now it's $200, and of course the stat is updated. It's now down to 237, and now we're beating this mission for the third time, and the money goes up to 300. So it's just $100 more every time you break your record. Okay, doing test track repeatedly isn't a lot of fun. In order to show you a thing, I needed to start test track one final time, but I don't actually have to finish test track the fourth time. And you might have seen that there's another competitor here on the track, which I did not realize until I started researching for this episode. But yeah, after you pass test track 3 times and start a fourth time, a black rancher driven by a security guard comes out just to harass you. So he's just going to plow right into me to try to make it tougher for me to complete this thing and beat my time. And he gets out, he'll yank me out. As soon as he yanks me out, I fail the mission and he loses interest in me because his job is done. All right. The reason I wanted to show this isn't just because it's cool. There's this other thing that happens, but because this particular rancher is a unique color. In the very first episode of this series, I talked about wanting to get all the unique vehicles that I could, and this is one of them. It's not, bulletproof or fireproof or any of those things, but it is a color that cannot be gotten by taking a rancher to the pay and spray. And so, yeah, so I'm going to pull it right back out of the garage here, and now that it's repaired from being in the garage. And we'll just give you a good look at all the sides of this very nice looking, uniquely colored black rancher. Cool. And then once we've gotten a good look at it, we'll just throw it back in the garage for safekeeping. Very nice. I like this color quite a bit. Yeah, so every vehicle has a specific color palette that's allowed when you pay and spray that vehicle repeatedly. And black is not in the color palette for the Rancher, but we can get this black vehicle the way that you just saw me here. 3 passes, and then on the 4th attempt is when you start to get harassed. Okay, saving again. Now we're going to play around with Trial by Dirt. Recall that I have passed this mission once already with a time of 2 minutes, 14 seconds, although that time hasn't shown up in the stats menu yet because of that bug in the code. Here you can see the red barrels. So they're in exactly the same place. And again, they show up as soon as you pass the mission one time. They show up. And so here I'm just waiting to something slower than 214. And mission failed. I did not beat my record of 214. Okay, let's try it again. And now we'll pass this thing, beating our time of 214, just barely nailed it. $200 instead of the 100. And then finally, we get an instance of Trial by Dirt here, but it says 234, which is not what I just got. I got 213. The 234 is a copy of my best time from the Rancher version of this off-road mission, and that is another known bug, or maybe it's just part of the same bug. I don't know. Okay, so I have passed this thing 3 times now, and I'm starting the 4th time, but I don't have to pass it a 4th time to show you a thing. But if you take a look behind me, you'll see that there are some other folks interested. Yeah, so we got 3 Haitians with machetes, and they seem friendly. So they're just designed to harass me a little bit. They'll stay on the bikes unless I get off my bike, and they just keep plowing into me in an effort to prevent me from repeatedly breaking my record. So I'll just skip ahead. They're pretty slow chasing me, and they're pretty harmless, actually. But once I get off, they come off, and they are not harmless with their machetes here. Fellas, we can talk about this. Okay, so I just want this timer to run out, and you'll see again that the Haitians have no interest in me once I fail, same as that security guard and the rancher. So I will beat them up a little bit and in fast forward, and then take one of the Sanchez's that they brought. Okay, and other than the color of this Sanchez, it's an ordinary Sanchez, so you can use it to start and complete Trial by Dirt if you're interested. I'm not. I've done plenty of Trial by Dirt now. And so it's another unique black color, can't be gotten through normal means by bringing a Sanchez to the pay and spray. So we'll give you a look around here. And now it's time for me to rate both of these missions. So we'll say that Trial by Dirt, this one here on the Sanchez, it's all right. We'll give it a 7, maybe a 6. I don't know. I'll say 7. It's not all that long of a race. It's not all that challenging of a race. I like that you don't get penalized for falling off of the Sanchez. It's kind of annoying that you have to go so slow in order to get through all the checkpoints and all the tight turns and everything. So 7 out of 10 there. But for the Rancher one, that's like a 2 or 3 out of 10. It's way slower and it's way too easy to roll the Rancher, and so it's pretty annoying to do the Rancher one. So if you have any memories you'd like to share about either of these two missions, throw them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you real soon.